What up, bitches? It's the MisanthropikOne, aka He Who Hungers, and I'm back up in this bitch for another rant/review. Today, I like to talk about the long-awaited Undergods album called "In Gods We Trust, We Crush Microphones to Dust." A lot of y'all requested this shit. I really sat back and tried to absorb this album as much as I could. And I understand why a lot of y'all requested it, because Cannabis and Keith Murray coming together to form a group known as the Undergods sounded like it was going to be some big shit. And I was happy as hell too. You know, they put out an EP. What was it, last year? Or I think it might have been even earlier than last year. They put out a little EP to show what they were doing, what the album was going to be like and shit. And in fact, most of those tracks end up on this album, by the way. Let me just put that out there. But yeah, it was highly anticipated by me and other hip hop heads. But to be honest with y'all, it really didn't carry me away like I thought it would originally, and I'm going to explain to you why. First, I'm going to talk about some of the producers on this album. You got DJ Absurd, Amadeus, Shuko, Jake One, Eric Sermon, God's Wrath, JP Beats, Bronze Nazareth, Beat Butcher, The Beat Miners, Zico and Verbal, Gordo, Sickness, and Ill Image. Now, when it comes to production on this album, I feel like it was okay. And that kind of is bad considering some of the names that are on here. Some of them are big names, like Shuko, Jake One, Eric Sermon, you know, but I felt as a whole on the album, it didn't really have that intensity that a brother like Cannabis usually has on an album. You know, like the beats, I'm talking about on a whole general scale. Like, some beats were hot, some of them were just alright, you know, like I just don't really know what to say. It's just like some of them were not mellow, but just weren't intense enough. Because again, I'm a huge Cannabis fan. When Cannabis goes in over a beat, it's just retarded. You know, it has to be right. And I just don't want to sound like none of these fucking stupid ass motherfuckers that try to down MCs like Cannabis or Keith Murray, saying, oh well, their beats aren't hot. That's not the case. Some of them are just lackluster, and I hate to say it about this album, but it is kind of true. And that sucks considering that you know, some of these big names are on here, like Eric Sermon, Jake One, Shuko, you know, I mentioned them already. And another thing that pisses me off is Bronze Nazareth, who I've mentioned before in a few of my reviews. Bronze Nazareth is reduced to just putting a beat on the interlude of the album, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Bronze Nazareth just reduced to an interlude? They should have been tearing one of his beats apart. Go look up Bronze Nazareth again. He's a Wu-Tang affiliate. Go check him out. His beats are fucking fire, and his MC skills are hot as well, so go check him out. But that's how I feel about production on this album. Let me go into some of the features on the album. You got Planet Asia, Crooked Eye, Eric Sermon, Tech Nine, Urban Rose, Born Son, and Joe the Butcher. Not too many features on here, just 18 tracks. Some of the features are multiples on a track, like Crooked Eye and Eric Sermon on The Guilty Will Pay, Born Son and Joe the Butcher on Tetragrammaton Gods. That's the bonus track on the album. And Tech Nine is on Show 'Em What Crazy Is. Dope fucking track. And Urban Rose is on Gotta Be Real, which is track 14. So not too many features. You know, it's nice and balanced out the way I like it. So I can't really bitch about that. Now let me tell you why I'm not so carried away with this album. I know a lot of y'all gonna be surprised, like, why the fuck is he saying that? Yo, I thought you would like the fucking albums, Cannabis and Keith Murray. Well, let me explain it to you guys. Y'all already know I'm a huge fucking Cannabis fan. I know I'm sounding repetitive, I said it before, but I really am. Last year he released 2 of the greatest albums in his whole catalog. And at least in my opinion, like Melatonin Magic, that album is the truth. And Sea of Tranquility was hot as well. But I feel on this album, with all the anticipation, all the hype, that 2 really dope MCs coming together, I felt that, you know, when this album finally came out, and I was so hungry, so happy, you know, I opened in the plastic and put in the CD in. I listened to it the first time. I said, maybe I'm missing something. I went back and then it clicked. Love Cannabis. Keith Murray, on the other hand, I love his older shit, but after, I want to say, like the 90s, man, his shit, in my opinion, started to falter, started to go a little bit downhill with me. And that's just my personal opinion. Not saying that he sucks, you know, because that's what I know a lot of y'all gonna take it and twist my words around. I'm not saying he sucks. It's just that the style he came out with originally, that people knew him for, he just started changing little by little. And it just wasn't the same Keith Murray that I grew up listening to. And on this album, you know, when you got an album like this, and other super groups that have been coming out, like I just reviewed the Hail Mary Mallon album, and I reviewed Slaughterhouse's shit. You gotta have good chemistry. You gotta be able to click well. I really wasn't feeling it. I'm not saying that they're not fucking friends or anything. I'm talking about musically. Cannabis is the type of dude that when he writes some shit, you really gotta sit back and be like, whoa, do I really want to go in with him? Because he's a tough dude to outshine with his rhymes and shit. And it's been said before. I think Common said it on the DVD called The MC. Go check that shit out. I think QD3 makes that DVD or whatever. But Common said that when Cannabis came in and did the verse on his album, I believe it's One Day It All Makes Sense, Cannabis came in, did his verse. Common had to throw away his verse and rewrite a whole new verse. And I feel that Keith Murray's style, where it is today, doesn't really match up to Cannabis's style, because Cannabis is the type of angry fucking, you know, you could hear the anger and the passion in his voice, the fucking crazy vocabulary. And Keith Murray's just there, you know what I mean? Like, he's rhyming, but a lot of the shit, it doesn't seem like he really goes in on. And I wish he would have brought his old 94 style back onto this album. Then this album would have been sick. There's a few tracks he goes in on, like Show 'Em What Crazy Is featuring Tech Nine, Secret Weapons he goes in on. But on a lot of these tracks, it's like Keith is just, oh man, it's whatever, man. And I love Keith Murray as an MC. You know, he released some of my favorite albums. Like I said, The Most Beautifulest Thing in This World. I fucking love that album to death. Enigma. It just, God, it just sucks, man. And my rating of this album, I'm good. It's somewhere between a 5 and a 6 because it's listenable. Most of it is listenable, but that whole aspect of Keith Murray and the production, that kind of kills it for me. And it's sad to say because, like I said, I love Keith Murray. And Keith Murray, right now, at this state in his career, he would seem better off making an album with Redman. And I'm not trying to say that like, oh, you suck, so Redman sucks too, so both of y'all gonna make an album together. I'm not saying that. But style-wise, if those two made an album together like they did, like, what was that, in the 90s, the El Nino album, the Def Squad, Keith Murray, Redman, and Eric Sermon, if they did that, it would fit today. It would definitely fit. And that's all I gotta say. In between a 5 and a 6. Check it out, guys. I mean, a lot of y'all that hit me up really enjoyed the album. If y'all hated it, tell me why. Leave your opinions and comments down there. Check this shit out. Tell me what you think. Now, since this is a cannabis-related topic, let me get into the reason why I didn't review the Lyrical Law album that he recently dropped. A lot of people were telling me, have requested it, yo, MisanthropikOne, you gotta review the Lyrical Law album. And guys, you already know that I'm gonna be all over that. You know, I've been anticipating this shit. I listened to the snippets of the album. The shit sounds official. I'm not gonna lie about that. It sounds really fucking good. It sounds like it's gonna be a contender for top albums that came out in 2011. This album sounds serious. Only reason I have not done that review is because the only way you could get this album is to go on Cannabis's new website, cannabiscatalog.com. Okay, fine. I could dig that. So I go on Cannabis's website and you know, I see that he has the shit for sale. So I click on it to, you know how these rappers got their shit up, you know, add to cart, blah 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 blah. Fine, add to cart. So all of a sudden it's asking me for a username and a password. And I'm sitting there like, why the fuck do I need all that just to buy a fucking CD? Like, I mean, it's bad enough I have all these accounts everywhere and I have different usernames and passwords. You know, the last thing I want to do is make another username and another fucking password just to buy one fucking album. Every other rapper or artist in the industry, or let me not say in the industry because cannabis really isn't an industry MC, but you know what I mean. Every other artist that got music out, if you want to order from their site, all you got to do is click add to cart. Then at the end you hit checkout. If you have a PayPal account, it'll sync to your PayPal account, whatever. And then it's done. And I just personally don't feel like making a username and a fucking password just to get this fucking CD. And it pisses me off because I was going to go to undergroundhiphop.com and just get it from there. I figured, okay, Cannabis got an album out, undergroundhiphop.com has to have it. And naturally, just because I want it that bad, they don't have it. So until there's an easier way to get it, I'm probably not going to review it because y'all know me already. I take pride in actually having the physical CD, unlike pricks that just like to download and be lazy and not support their fucking artists and shit. So Cannabis, I know you're watching this. there's got to be an easier way to get your fucking CD. I know your CD is fucking hot as fuck. I want it. I'm willing to pay for it. I just don't want to have to go through fucking making a fucking password and making another username. I've got enough passwords and usernames, and I'm even trying to cut some of them down. I just don't want to do that. So, again, if y'all know an easier way I could get my hands on the Lyrical Law album, y'all let me know. Until then, y'all know the deal. Leave your love, leave your hate, most of all subscribe. Cannabis and Keith Murray, much love to you. And that's it. Peace, bitches.